Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. This is TruePowerIsMine. I have Dimebag on the line today. You there? All right, and this is the other morning show, Thanksgiving Day special. We do have a call in line today. It is area code 636-209-5044. So that's the area code. That's a little call in for today. So anyhow, let's just get right on into it. Hold on. I need to put this over. Oh shit! I just really this video it's horrible, man. It's gonna. All right, man. So we got a lot to talk about today. This is Thanksgiving and all, and I know isn't it kind of odd we have immigrants down at our southern border waiting to get in, and we're celebrating a day that apparently the natives to this country, welcome the pilgrims. Is that about accurate?
No, Thanksgiving was a celebration that the pilgrims slaughtered a bunch of Indians. But I remember that.
He said slaughtered. I mean, there wasn't no friendship and love and swapping of spit. Hold on, I'm gonna put you on the other. See if this is a little bit better. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. So that might be a little bit better. I'm just gonna turn that down because I think that that box speaker, for whatever reason, it's just goofy. All right. So you're saying that today isn't a good day for the natives people of the Americas, right? And you're saying this because of why?
Well, when you have a group of savages that came over here because they were undesirable in Europe, and they just came over here with their wretched behavior. And today they celebrated the slaughtering of some Native Americans. That's where after they slaughtered these people, they had a feast. And that's what millions of Americans will be doing, celebrating today a slaughter of a bunch of Native Americans. That's one of the real meanings and traditions behind Thanksgiving.
Well, I agree with you. But what can we do about it?
What can we do about it? I mean, you cannot celebrate Thanksgiving. At this point, I say, you can't bring those Indians back that was slaughtered. You can't bring them back. I would say, it's really nothing I can say on the phone that's going to change people's minds about celebrating it. So if you are celebrating Thanksgiving, then, try to have some purposeful meaning. I know a lot of times when families get together around Thanksgiving, depending on the level of dysfunction in the family, it can be very difficult for some people because, you have groups of people in your family, political ideology is different from other people.
Mm-hmm.
And, their sexual orientation is different. And all other kinds of stuff, when you bring all these collective people into one area, and then you put in and you mix alcohol with it too. It's like a powder keg; it could explode. I'm not saying it happens in every house, but everybody has that one, rabid uncle
or two, three,
or two. Either he's a softer in the mouth, teabagger, right winger, or you might have the one that's just like hyper homophobic, and one of your cousins is gay, and that starts the whole issue. Or and you just know how women is. Period. When you get all them in a confined space, you're just waiting for something crazy to happen. But you got that one eye that's like, well, who invited this bitch? Because she's mad at somebody else. So all I'm saying is, just try to, keep it peaceful as best as you can, because, it is a little bit dysfunction in all our families, and we all know when you bring them together. Uh, you just never know what's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, it's typical American family, and that goes across the line,
Well, I have a comment or question from one of the listeners. It's actually pertaining to one of our old show, but I think today's a great day to address it. As a country, are we finally going to have that conversation about land reconciliation with the native peoples of the continent of North and South and Latin America?
I mean, it just all depends on if you feel like you're a bunch of white boys bitches and fighting. That's the ones going to be bitching and fighting.
I mean, you wouldn't have an issue with giving up your property?
But I have an issue just giving it up.
Yeah.
Technically, not even mine if it was stolen.
I mean, but
that's just like me buying a TV from somebody else and he stole it, and then having an issue with police coming with the rightful owners to retrieve it. Even though I paid for it, but it was never mine to buy.
Or it was never theirs to sell. It was definitely yours to buy, but it was never theirs to sell legitimately.
So if I bought it, then I'm just pretty much out of that money. Unless I get the money back from the thief.
So let me get this right. You don't have a problem with like let's say that they came up with some sort of group came up and said, okay, we want to give back these states back to the native peoples of the Americas.
If you're not going to give them back their land, okay, if you're not going to give them back their land, like goddamn me, give them some kind of fiscal compensation. I mean, like this, I don't understand, why there is a problem with this country and some of the citizens in this country that think it's a problem with paying people back, the compensation that they were owed.
Because they're scared that they would be the ones who have to do the paying. You know what I'm saying? They're scared that.
I look at it like this: it's the debt of the United States government. It ain't a debt that the American citizens owe. It's a debt of the United States country. So if you got a problem with the American government paying off their debt that's owed to people, you probably want to go somewhere else.
But it's the same all over. I mean, there's no escaping it at this point. You look at the brothers and sisters in South Africa and look at the hurdles that they had to overcome. You look at the brothers and sisters in India, or Israel, or any of these countries that are in conflict. Not so much India anymore. But
if the land was stolen from the beginning, then it should go back to its rightful owner. Or at least if you can't give them back the land, then you need to give them some kind of physical compensation.
Now, one would argue, though, they were compensated by being allowed to live, because it was a genocidal action happening. So, what if they made a deal like, you just let us live and you can have the land?
I really highly doubt that was the deal that was put on the table. It was either probably was more on the rate conform or die.
Oh, the same thing, either, this or that. I mean, because what you're saying, then ultimately, then we get into the whole, do the slaves need to be compensated for their activities?
Yes, you need to work your way down the line. There's a lot of injustices that has been done, and these are debts that's owed by the United States government. So if you as a United States citizen, no matter when this debt came up or when this debt was made, if you are not a United States citizen, if you have a problem with the government paying back the debt that's owed, that they owe to people, then you need to leave.
Well, then what about?
Or if you're an immigrant that migrates to this country, and you start contributing taxes, if you have a problem with the United States paying off their debt that they owe, then you need to go somewhere else.
So
do it with the Native Americans, and then you work your way down the line. You take care of the descendants of the slaves, because we all know the economic foundation of this country is built on the back of
Irish slaves. Did you say Irish or black?
I'm talking about black descendants of slaves. And if there were some Irish people that was enslaved and wasn't compensated for their for their labor. Then so these people need to be compensated. You work your way down the line. If you go to the Black World War II and World War One veterans that didn't get the benefits they deserve, because what a lot of people don't understand is a lot of Black World War II veterans was not able to use the GI Bill like the white brothers that they served in arms with.
Well, then let me ask you this question: if a descendant of a person is entitled to the World War II veterans or World War One veterans benefits, is that said person also responsible for those people's debt that they might have incurred?
The debt is incurred by the United States government.
No, I'm talking about pertaining to just one person. Like, let's say Mr. A served in World War One, wasn't given his veterans benefit. Under what you were saying, we'll track down his descendants to try to give those people back the paper that he should have gotten. Now, should they also get the bill for any debt he might have left behind as well?
No, he served this country.
So it's just a one-way street.
Whenever you agree, I look at it like this: whenever you agree to sacrifice your life, that's not like you can't put a money value on that. You just can't. That's why I don't understand why veterans period have to even go through the bullshit they go through to get some old meansy benefits when they signed up to give their life to the United States government in return, because they were getting something back too, and then they end up to the bargain. They just happened to be able to survive whatever shit they had to do while they were serving the country. And now you telling me that, well, we got to put you through a ringer to get the benefits. You got to do this, or you got to do this, or you got to be this way. Or their way, it shouldn't be their way. Here's your government card. It's got, actually, with that government card, whatever you need, you swipe that son of a bitch, you're good.
Right.
That's how it should be. I mean, you can't put a price on a life, because every human only gets one life. Once you're dead, you're dead.
Now, how do you feel about foreign people who served in the military? I saw a story last night. There were several Mexican citizens that were basically brought over in the 90s or whatever as babies. They served in the army, but they get deported because they weren't American citizens.
I think that's bullshit. I think if you're a foreigner and you come over here and you join the U.S. military, then it should be a mechanism in place of while you're serving, you get
citizenship.
You earn your citizenship. Because at the end of the day, you're sacrificing your life. So if you're willing to sacrifice your life for this country, the least thing they can do to show some gratitude is to give you citizenship. I mean, and to be honest, I still don't even think that's an even trade, because if you get killed, you don't come back from that. So you really can't put a price on a human life. So at a bare minimum, the least that they can do is give them American citizenship. If you are born and you came over here at no fault of your own, and I get that a lot of Mexican immigrants are in the situation, and you served in the United States military, the least they can do is supposed to give you American citizenship. That's like a slap in the face, to be honest. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge slap in the face. It's like, your sacrifice, and it is a sacrifice. Doesn't mean smack. But now speaking of the immigrants, we all know your thoughts about the people coming up in the caravan. You're basically they shouldn't be entered into the country. But hopefully, since the last time we talked, you had some time to actually research Honduras, Argentina, Brazil, and see what's really going on down there, and see why these people who are not basically they're basically African descendant looking and dark skinned Latinos in that caravan. You not understand there's an extreme racial problem going on in South America right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, horrible one.
But I also look at it like, boys, with the caravan too. We got a lot of problems here.
Yeah, but we don't have them to that degree. Yes, we are having brothers and sisters gunned down in the streets. but they're not just like just walking down and pop pop and then walk a little more pop pop. You know, at least they try to put those guys on.
Don't start giving them no ideas.
Well, I'm sure it already crossed their pathetic minds once or twice. You know, hate is hate. Look, I still think we need to get to this place in our way we think, the way we carry ourselves, where we do understand borders. I'm not going to sit here and say we should have open borders. That's retarded. That's like having an open door to your home or open door to anything that you really care about and want to preserve. I get that, but at the same time,
right. One of my main issues is with the whole caravan of immigrants. I believe that the United States government needs to put together a comprehensive immigration policy and enforce that policy across the board, regardless of where the immigrants come from. Period. Everybody, no matter where you come from, everybody must go by these guidelines. Period. Or your ass ain't coming in. Period.
And what are these guidelines? What are these guidelines?
The whole birthright, citizenship thing that needs to be redone too, because you have a lot of people that come over in this country, a week or two before it's time for them to give birth.
Mm-hmm.
That baby's automatic citizen, and then it goes back home. But it's a United States citizen. That's been happening a lot too. Russians are doing it. Chinese are doing it. But they don't. But you don't never hear them complain about that. They only complain about the Mexicans, which I understand why the Mexicans do it, and the people from South America do it, because it gives them. It's a mechanism that they can use to keep them from having to go back home. But me personally, I think that the whole birthright thing that needs to be retweeted, because you just can't have people coming over here 9 months pregnant, have a baby, and damn, now they got access to the United States and all of this so-called welfare benefit, all because they just dropped this baby.
Well, I agree with you on that. Yes, that aspect. But as long as your mom or dad is a American citizen, I believe anywhere you are born or conceived at on this planet, in a male's case, we'll have to use genetics to determine that yes, he is the father, or she, or the kid, actually belongs to him. But the reality is that had to have been in play because of the racist attitude of the country at the time it was developed. Because don't forget, you actually have people sitting around talking about, well, should we consider these slaves citizens of this great nation? Well, they only been over here for like 300 fucking years toiling in the soil at that point in time. So yeah, I would say, yeah, they are citizens, And the thing about citizenship, though, not everyone will fight and die for the Constitution and what it represents. A lot of citizens who were born into it won't do it. So I don't like this ideal that just because a person's on American soil, they're automatically protected underneath the Constitution like a normal citizen. That's to me seems very dangerous, and it also cheapens. Look, we have rules. Okay, listen, you don't have to kill them. You don't have to beat them up. But if you're not an American citizen, you don't have the right to come to this country and talk shit about us. You don't have freedom of speech. If you're not an American citizen, you don't get to vote in our election. If you're not an American citizen, you don't get to own property in America.
No, you shouldn't.
That's all I want. That's all I want, and I don't think that's unreasonable. But right now, it's the exact opposite of that. You can own property in America and not be a citizen. You can vote in some local elections out in California and not be a citizen. And you can just show up, like you said, a couple of days before you drop the egg, and guess what? This baby is an American citizen.
The way the stuff is set up now, if you're a foreigner and you come over here, you're put in you're in a better position than an American citizen that was born here and their parents were born here and their grandparents were born here. You're in a better situation than them people.
Yes.
It's not like it's like no way that people like foreigners should be able to come over and already be put ahead of other classes of American citizens. That's bullshit. That's why I don't agree with the caravan of migrants coming over here, because if they give these people a give them an unfair advantage than everybody else.
Well,
And this has been happening over and over and over and over, and that's why I'm adamant about don't let not one single person in there, show them the points of the U.S. The United States, and show them, this is our southern border. I'm glad you came up to check it out. Now you can walk there. Now you walk your ass back home.
oh, well, well, there's other issues at play. Like I said, there's the racial issue, the drug crime issue, murder.
If it was a bunch of American citizens traveling down there.
We don't know though. I was so quick to, even last week to be like, yeah, they would just fucking push us away at the gate. We don't know. You don't know what's really in their heart. They may actually have more humanity than we do. They may understand. Yes, there's a genocide.
If they do have more humanity than we do, then that's fine. And you can display that humanity in your own fucking country.
I see what you're saying, but once again, I just can't help but to think that we feel this way because right now we have the better end of the deal. And it seems like once this thing flip flops, then we're gonna be crying a different tune. Let us in, Mexico, let us in, and they're gonna be like, no English, senor.
And I'll be like, no, senor. Go back down there. That's what I'll be like. We're not in a better situation than they are.
We are. We're in a way better situation.
No, we're not. We're suffering over here. It's people over here suffering.
Listen,
too.
There's a turkey damn near on every table in America today. You can't say that on any day of the week down there, and let's just be honest.
What?
I mean, right now, think about it. You can go to damn near any house in America. You're going to see a ham, a turkey, or chitlins. All right. Now, you can eat your full all day, all these different houses. All right. We have resources in America, in the United States. We have, a very prosperous society in many ways. Now, in many ways, we're not prospering or we're not moving forward.
They're not in a better. They're not in a better situation than we are.
No, we are in a better situation than they are, is what I'm saying. And the proof is in the pudding. Why would there be 15,000 of them knocking on the door right now trying to get in if we were so shitty?
The majority of the American citizens in this country are not benefiting from the economic wealth that's being developed in this country. We are in the same. We live in what? See, this is the whole illusion you have. Just because you got a fucking car, or just because you can talk on a fucking device, a little computer in your pocket, we live in a third world country. This is all just an illusion to keep you distracted from what's really going on. You're living under the same conditions as these motherfuckers coming over trying to get in here. And that's a fact. The majority of American workers make less than $30,000 a year. And we all know that you cannot take care of a family of four on an income of $30,000 a year.
Well, in some regions, it'd be hard to take care of yourself. But, we do have to deal with the racial identification. All right. We have to deal with the racial context in a legal way. It's being played out in not only the USA, but around the world. Because we opened up with the ideal that because today is Thanksgiving, the day that the so-called the immigrants from Europe came to Plymouth Rock and they broke bread with the natives or the
natives. And then breed was they raised them. The difference.
I'm just saying, I find it terribly ironic that we as United States citizens are having this conversation about keeping out immigrants, trying to get in, trying to flee persecution and barbarism, just like, they did back in the day. And to my knowledge, the caravan aren't bringing slaves with them as well. They're just trying to get in with their little kids and their mom and dad and trying to get a piece of the pie. And don't forget, many of these countries around the world who are quote unquote third world nations, the reason why they are isn't because of mismanagement amongst the people. No, it's because of certain entities goes into said countries, destabilizes it, so then corporations can come in and get resources on pennies on the dollar.
Y'all think is why should we let them get in, let them come in and get a slice of the pie
Because the reality is,
when their citizens already heard they got skin in the game, can't even get a slice of the pie. Don't you think they should get a slice of the pie first?
I would say yes if I was truly thinking on just a localized nation level. But I have to say no because of the people who actually have the power to actually change things that we're talking about today. They're on a globalist agenda. So, for instance, there's real in their minds, there's no such thing as the United States of America. There's no such thing as Mexico or Guatemala or any of that. There's just money. And these people serve a purpose in their particular go, not yours and mine, but their go. We're heading for a global government, guys. There's no two ways about it. We're headed there, whether you want to accept this fact or not.
Well, I just look at it like I'm not like anti-immigration. I'm not, but I also see to where like if what's good for the goose should be good for the gander. If you can spare resources, because there's no way anybody can convince me that it's not going to take resources to process, to set these people up, and to do all this other stuff that's not going to cost resources. When those resources can be used to the benefit of American citizens, letting in thousands of immigrants does not make our country better. It does not benefit us. If anything, it hurts us. Letting them in hurts us. And I know a lot of people don't want to comprehend it and understand. I can see if we were doing right by American citizens that's already heard us, and we're not even doing right by them. It's a slap in the face for American citizens to watch and to even want to allow them to come in, let the government set them up, put them in a stable situation so they can thrive when it's needs Americans that they won't even pay attention to. They step right over that homeless person, walking into the local Wally World. They gonna probably be doing that shit tonight.
Well, funny you mentioned Wally World. The fire victims, that are suffering out there in the great state of California, set up a little shanty town, I believe in Shiloh or Chico, or whatever. And Walmart told them to get to stepping because they're making their company image look bad with all the tents out there. So once again, I'm telling you, it's this basic lack of humanity that's instilled in this type of society that we live in, which is going to ultimately do us all in. All right, it's that lack of humanity, that lack of basic caring about, for, and of your fellow human being. That's lacking in the society, and it's not just on a racial level or a sexual level or a sexual orientation level. It's just on a human level. Motherfuckers, if you're not making this motherfucker a buck, get the fuck out of here and die. Go and die. That's the ultimate message. And that's why we still have homelessness in America, the United States. That's why we still have racial tensions in the United States. That's why you still have bigoted crimes against homosexuals in the United States, because no one really cares. Period.
Because at the end of the day, if you are a poor white person in this country, maybe not in that poor white person mind might think they better than somebody else, but to the people with wealth, you're no different from any other ethnicity in this country. You're still a piece of trash.
Yeah.
You're still a piece of it, and nothing's going to change.
And they know this, and that's what they're frustrated. That's why they're popping themselves in droves. Once you come to the conclusion that, dude, the only reason why I got whatever the fuck I got this little bit is because of this. It's not because of my merit. And you thought all this time you was riding on something, but you realized you wasn't. Then you get suicidal and you pop yourself. And there's statistics to prove that.
It goes back to when we had Dr. Jacqueline Battlelord on the show. And she talks about the Daniel Bacon, a white peasant that was like pissed off at the 1% because they were taking all the wealth from people like him that was actually going out there creating the wealth, and they started turning up wealthy people's shit. And they like, well, fuck, we need to come up with an idea to convince these dimwits that they're like us, but they're really not like us, so they can stop tearing up our shit. And they say, bam, black, white is invented. So now they didn't convince a bunch of poor white people that they're on the same level as a bunch of wealthy white people, but in the eyes of the wealthy white people, they're just stupid peasants. And that trick's been working for hundreds of years.
And it's going to continue to work because people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
But they're not a part of. That's what they don't understand. They're not a part of. Like you go out in rural Missouri and pick any white person out of rural Missouri and tell them they're gonna walk up in Mar-a-Lago and he's gonna get a reality check real quick.
Well,
or any ritzy country club. Time to go up there all dressed out in his big beard and his camo and chewing his skull and watch what have you. He's gonna get a reality check real quick.
But yeah, because look, man, I know people know this for sure, but the reality is most people don't cut the mustard. All right, where we're talking about intellectually speaking or financially speaking, they just don't cut it. They got a deficit. All right, that's when sex, race, sexual orientation comes into play. Those are your little bonus pieces. We're all on baseline sub-average. But then when you're like, oh, I'm a male. Ding. Oh, I'm white. Ding. I'm straight. Ding. You get 3 ups. Whereas next guy, I'm not white. I'm not financially set. And then the guy might not be straight. He's even.
That's one of the reasons why, like, you got a lot of chaos going on now. Like, I know a lot of people might not know. I don't know how aware of a lot of people are. Is that David Grimes filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy because the marriage rate is not the way it used to be. You have over time, along with this bullshit ass feminist, and I got a question, especially about feminists. And if anybody listening, because I'm not live, but I know you guys on your channel, if there's anybody in the audience can give their answer of why the majority of the leaders of the feminist movement are ugly as fuck.
Yep. That's because the white wing reports you're watching, they're only gonna fucking run up to the ugly. There's some hot feminists, there's some hot conservatives, there's some hot liberals. That's irrelevant. And even if they were trolly as fuck, what the fuck does that have to do with their message of equality? I mean, come on.
These women ain't being treated unequally to the extent that they saying. I mean, look at the chick that started the whole Me Too movement. They're like somebody beat her with an ugly stick.
But irrelevant. Even she's ugly as a doorknob. Does she have to go to a job and have to suck a dick just to get the fucking job? I mean, come on, dude. Look, women are being discriminated against. You know what I'm saying? I don't know to what extent because I'm not a chick, but I know they are.
Right. No, you're right. She shouldn't have to go to, but if she want a promotion that she ain't qualified to get, you're going to do something.
Hold on, did Billy fucking Hick fuck do something when they throw his ass in fucking position of power? Nope, he's just there swinging his dick. Come on, man, that's what we have to end. We have to end.
Like that corporate cartel meeting that was held in some private subdivision, so you really don't know what he did to get that promotion.
I hate
motherfuckers ain't giving you nothing for free. You're gonna do something for.
Oh yeah.
If I put you in this position of power, what am I going to get in return? And we all know how these sick son of a bitches operate. It's always on some gay sexual activity.
Oh, you know it.
Hey Jim, we know you've been working good in the blase, but Samantha's over there. She's really good with those details. What are you willing to do? Being my friends are having a little get together at a retreat.
And you know what? Why do you think people get them guns and go to their place of business and start blowing away motherfuckers? Look, I'm telling this to all the young people. You do not have to suck no dick or let no motherfucker fuck you to try to get some paper. That's just retarded. If nothing, bring your little cell phone in there, record that shit, and sue that motherfucker and get paid. Because you you do not want to live with the indignity of what you had to do after they fire you from that job or the company closed down. You end up one of these motherfuckers at a bar talking about, I was the plant manager. And then in your heart of hearts, you know that, yeah, as a plant manager, you had to get bent over by the owner every Friday, so he could blow his fucking shit and then go on about his business and you get your little check. Don't do that.
All I'm saying is the balance. The balance is off in this country for it's like the roles that everybody's supposed to play. You got women trying to compete with men and doing stuff that men are supposed to be doing towards the fact that women are not even doing the shit that they supposed to be doing as a woman, and they all been brainwashed with this feminine stuff, the stuff that's been shown on idiot box, and it throws the balance off. That's why it's fucking chaos. That's why it's chaos because a woman should not be competing on a level with a man doing man shit. You're not a man. Women, that's just like me trying to compete with a woman doing woman shit. I'm going to compete against a woman doing woman shit when I ain't even a woman.
I guess the real question, though, how do you determine what is man shit and what is woman shit?
Man, we all know what's man shit and what's woman shit.
In some cultures, no. It's subjective.
That's why shit's in chaos.
Why? Because people don't know?
Because the white woman is fucking over the white man, fucking him up, so he can't even concentrate right on how he's supposed to rape, pillage, and destroy shit that they've been doing. But then you got the black women who follow the white woman, and then you got the still black male that follows the black woman that follows the white woman, and that's driving the crazy white man fucking insane, so he can't do anything he's supposed to do, and it's all in chaos. And I remember like what Mark said on the show one time. If it was up to him, he would push the reset button and start the whole thing over and out. And I'm to the point to where I'm like, I totally agree with him. Push the button, start the whole thing all over again.
Oh man, I mean, come on, mass suicide. They already tried it. It's called Jonestown. That don't work. Look, we just gotta work out our shit. We gotta use our brains. We gotta use our hearts, and we gotta use our hands in concert to fix the problem that we're dealing with. Because if we don't fix it, it's never going to be fixed.
Like it's like today is Thanksgiving. It's going to be millions of people, traveling all across the country, going to see loved ones, sharing the meal with their family and all that stuff. But it's also going to be millions of people out here in this country today, as we talk right now, that's going to go to bed home. In the richest country.
But hold on, that's only because they don't get up off their butt and go to somebody's house and eat some turkey dinner. That's the only reason why. There's plenty of food to go around, and a lot of that hunger stuff, dude. Most of that are kids.
It is plenty of food to go around, but you know what happens? A lot of people don't get that food to get thrown. I made like a little 2-minute video documenting. I was working behind a grocery store, and little behold, there's 3 baskets of perfectly good food set out for trash.
I mean, but look, for one, that food belongs to the person who purchased that food. You know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of.
And why can't there be some incentive for them donating that food to like a food pantry or something? Why can't they have some fiscal instead of throwing it away? You already paid for it, then why can't you donate it and get like some kind of tax, or some tax credits for something else that could benefit your business because you're actually donating food that you would instead of throwing away food that you could have donated and got something in return for you.
Well, it's sort of like
throwing it in the trash, and you're helping me.
But it's sort of like a crack dealer. You have all this crack, all the users coming to you. Right? You have bad crack. You're going to throw that in the trash, right? Instead of giving it to the users, because you give that crack to the users, they'll just wait around for it to go bad.
That's what you're going to do with the crack. You're still going to sell it and hope that you don't have too many complaints. And you tell them, oh man, I know this match wasn't that good, but the next match, man, the next match going to be straight.
Where are you going to put the complaint at? I mean, come on.
You might have that one. You might have that one. You could be like, man, that shit. But the one shit I got from you last time, that shit was a fire. This almost some mediocre stuff, man. What's going on? You know, you have those. Cause I mean, it happens. I'm pretty sure some dope man that got a complaint about his shit not being as far as the last match. And he probably was like, yeah, no man, I'll make it up to you. So he going back there, he might get like a little extra crumb with it or some shit. I mean, it's business. You gotta take care of your customer because if your customer happy, they gonna spend money.
Well, in that business, your customer ain't happy, they're gonna drop the dime and your ass is gonna go to jail.
And two, you don't want to have it's nothing like having a disgruntled customer.
Especially one that's all whacked out.
Right.
But we never did answer the question though. So you would be cool with giving up your house to the native people?
Would I want to give up my house to the native people? No, but why can't they be compensated with the house?
No, you're not going to get compensated. You just get the fuck out. Your compensation is you get to live.
Well, I mean, like, to be honest, if you go by there, according to their population numbers, I mean, how much land can you really give them that they can even maintain or pay for it? If you do it like that, all the government gonna do is find some other way to turn around and compensate that stuff back because it'll be too much that they can handle. I think that the Native Americans would be probably better off if they were given like some fiscal compensation and a little bit of land. A little bit of land. The United States government has land, but give them, some fiscal compensation. I say one big lump sum at one time, but spread it out and help these people, improve their lives. You owe them that.
Okay, so
there's nothing wrong with that.
Let me ask you: is it okay to give them back, say, Manhattan Island?
They gonna give them Manhattan Island.
No.
I wouldn't even want Manhattan Island. You gotta have how you gonna what are you gonna do with the island of Manhattan if you ain't got no resources to maintain it? It's just gonna go right back in the hands of the people that own it now.
That's what I'm saying. It will. You'll have the rest of the country. No, they'll have their whole country.
If you're gonna do that, like, then just give them some fiscal compensation. Make their offspring be able to go to any state public, university.
So they can get indoctrinated like the rest of us.
If that's what they want to do, let them do it.
No, I'm telling you what they want. They want their fucking country back. They want fucking from Manhattan all the way to California.
Well, I mean, if we want justice and justice for all, the right thing to do is to give them back their shit.
And then what about people like you and I? What we do?
If we're going to do it that way, and if we're going to give them the justice that they deserve, then it ain't no other way around that. You give them back their shit, and you just got to do what you got to do.
And what about all the nuclear missiles and all the arms and shit? See how complicated this gets rather quickly?
No, I don't get complicated. You just get rid of the shit. Right. It's not that fucking complicated. They might not want all that shit.
Oh, trust me, motherfuckers gonna want what they got coming.
Okay. Then what's the point? Because I look at it like, okay, we give them all this stuff back. It's not meaning Native Americans. The population of Native Americans in this country are really thin. Okay, we'll give you back all the land, then turn around and get it taken away again. And then the rest of them will be wiped out.
I mean, who's going to take the land from them?
The same people that took it from them the first time.
It'd be kind of hard when the motherfucker's holding a nuclear bomb saying, bring your monkey ass here.
Why would they drop nuclear bombs on the land where they live? They're just going to kill themselves, too.
I mean, at that point, who gives a fuck? I mean, better everyone goes than they win.
That's the case, then fuck again. I just hope whenever they do it, I'm in the blast zone, because I'd rather just be disintegrated than suffer and die from radiation poisoning. So, if that's gonna be the case, I just hope I'm in the fucking planet for it. That way I can just be done with it.
Well, I'm gonna have to bring this video. I'm gonna have to bring this video to a close, kind of rapidly. Something just came up. I just want to wish everyone happy Thanksgiving. You want to say something real quick, Dimebag?
Just want to say happy Thanksgiving, and everybody just try to be safe. Be peaceful, enjoy your family, and that's all I really got to say, man. Just take care of yourself.
All right. Well, peace, everybody, and look forward to our show tomorrow, the other morning show at the normal time. I am looking to have a very special guest on, one that you all will love. Later.
Peace.